It's 105.2 FM with Dave Marshall, and last time Tam Craven was with us, he was talking about the Proverbial African as his latest book. In fact, Tam has been busy with pen and paper, in fact, and is well written. I think we're on now to his 12th book. We're about to hear about his 12th book, and Tam's with us again this morning. Tam, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. I was driving a tractor trailer when I was 14. Folk laugh. There's a wee quick story about there used to be a pub. It was called the Glen Tavern. Now it's called the Druicket Dog, but a lot of folk call it the Crooked Dog. So anyway, this guy Paddy Gallagher had it years ago, and it was 10 below one morning, absolutely frozen. And this guy walked into the pub and says, "Paddy," he says, "it's warmer outside than it is in here." And Paddy, he called everybody son. He says, "Well, open the door, son, and let the heat in." You know, things like that, you know. There's a lot of history about here. This poem is called The Mirror Man. And one day I was looking in a mirror and I thought, oh, well, we're all getting old day and we can't avoid that. So this is it, The Mirror Man. Oh my God, I'm running out of teeth. I'll have to phone up the butcher and cancel all my beef. Oh my God, my eyesight's getting worse. I'll have to phone up the optician, or preferably a nurse. Oh my God, my hair is falling out. I'll have to phone up the big man before I look like a coot. Oh my God, I'm running out of beer. I'll have to phone up the brewery, but it's too bloody dear. Oh my God, I'm half bloody pissed. I would phone up God, but I'm an atheist. I mean, it took me a long time to get out of the accident. There's an old pal of mine that stayed across the road from me. His name was Angus Darragh. And he used to get a lot of characters coming in to Andy's house for a drink. Like Jimmy Allen and Cormac Finlay, guys that... And little did I know at that time, I was getting educated because I couldn't get a word in. And I was listening to all the patter of these guys. And for a couple, 2 or 3 years, I was a gambler. I was lucky at the horses, and but that only lasts so long. And I started writing, and now I've just published my 15th wee book, and it's my 10th book of poems, and it gives me a great feeling to be able to make folk laugh, but also to be able to make folk think. Fly me to the noon and let me drink in all the bars. Keep the bevy flowing before we shoot off to Mars. Fill my glass with whiskey and my other one with beer. Drink is all I live for, but it's too bloody dear. In other words, I'm a cosmonaut. In other words, I can't get caught. Fly me round the cosmos and let me look for other life. I'll do anything to get away from the wife. In other words, I'm between and betwixt. In other words, how you fixed? This next poem is called Dunblane. It's about the terrible disaster that happened up in Dunblane. And one day I was down the Glazer River and I seen 7 yellow wagtails, which is very unusual because you hardly ever see them. And it gave me the inspiration. And this is probably, I think, the first poem I ever wrote. And it's called Dunblane. 17 spirits dancing on the brook. I can hear them laughing whilst telling them tales of snowdrops and daffodils.
and yellow wagtails. One bad apple that stopped all the games and stopped all the play. Why must these things happen, I hear you say? There's a terrible madness in this world of ours, and we must live with it until it devours. But cheer up, there's 5 billion people with hope and many good tales who love the snowdrops and daffodils and yellow wagtails. This poem is called The Middle of the Rainbow. There's a black hole in every galaxy for every life that will end, and a bad apple in every barrel you don't want for a friend. There's a mystery in every being that upon this earth does walk. There's an answer to every problem, that's why we should sit and talk. There's a friendship on every corner, wherever we may go, for no matter where you stand, you're in the middle of a rainbow. A lot of people I meet, you know, about they're a wee bit like myself, right? And if they're not wanting to pay for nothing, you know, they're wanting a book for nothing, mate.
Aye, Rob Roy McGregor, he used to come down here and steal all the Campsie folks' cattle and the sheep. And I think one night, if I mind right, he come down and they stole whiskey from somewhere. It must have been making whiskey. And Rob Roy McGregor, apparently they all went away and get drunk. And the Campsie folk waited till they were all steaming. And then they gave them a do and took all their cattle back, you know.
It's called The Freeloaders. How's it going, big man? I see you've produced another book. That's right, wee man. Would you like a wee look? The wee man took the book and had a wee keek. That looks good, he says. I'll buy it next week. The next week came and then another 10 days went by. The wee man had no intentions of the book to buy. Like a lot of people you meet, and please believe me, the wee man was a wee bit like most folk. He wanted the book for free. Then you always get the question, are you making any money? No, I'm just a poor poet trying to be philosophical and funny. But I'll keep on producing because I believe in what I do. Then someday when I make money, the wee man won't have to pay. Aye, well, this is one about a wee lassie in India. I seen it on the telly one night and she was blind. And she was dumb. She couldn't speak. And she named her father. It was unbelievable. And she was deaf as well. And how she survived was amazing. And this is called Hear Through Her Eyes. Turned blind by hunger, we should all hear her cries. Now she walks the streets alone, she can hear through her eyes. In a world of plenty that's full of shame, greed and rotten lies, she searches desperately for food, hearing through her eyes. Down deeper in the gutter, there's no one she does despise. She prays for a better future and someone to look through her eyes. On and on she keeps stumbling, with no hellos and no goodbyes. She keeps on hoping and dreaming, whilst hearing through her eyes. Can the honest men ever stand up before this wee girl dies? Don't they know that God can also hear through her eyes? This one is called Through My Father's Eyes, and I've tried to imagine how my father felt when he saw my mother for the first time. The bonny Annie Leonard, she's the only girl for me. The lovely way she walks, 'tis the best you'll ever see. I see her every morning, looking fresh and bright, and I see her every time when I close my eyes at night. Will she come and dance with me for the rest of my life, and struggle through the good times, the hard times and the strife? The bonny Annie Leonard and I will meet today. Let's hope we last forever, forever and a day.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Mauchline. We're going to the Mauchline Holy Fair. Good there. Looking forward to it. Hope the sun comes out. The men left.
magic, so there. Canada. Yeah, it keeps our buddies go down. This is getting recorded, by the way. Anyway, I'll see you in another year. Aye. Imagine about 50-year times. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, I'll see you later. God bless my. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, it's
There it is. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the sounds of Scotland. I'm Billy Bell, here at CFUD FM 101.9. Beautiful Victoria, isn't it gorgeous out there? In the studio today I have a guest, Tam Craven, who is visiting from Scotland. We're going to tell you all about his 3 books and how you might get a hold of them. If Tom himself hadn't realised the success, I think, of what he was going to be coming to experience here in British Columbia. Certainly for upcoming shows, we're going to be able to tell you how you'll be able to reach Tom on the internet and make sure you can get a hold of his future books. Yeah, got another story you want to tell us?
It's just a wee one I remember there.
To do it.
Remember Piper Alpha, that terrible disaster that happened in Scotland? Well, the guy read a dare, that put all the fires, the Texan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently he was in this hotel in Aberdeen, this big fancy hotel, and he was standing at the bar, and there are 2 Scottish guys over in the corner, sitting down, they're absolutely drunk, And one says, that looks like Red Adair over there. So he says, that's a wee bit. He says, I'm going to ask him. So he goes over and he says, excuse me, are you Red Adair? And he says, yeah, sure I am, Jock. He says, I'd love to shake your hand. See the work you're doing around the world, putting all these fires out. You're absolutely fantastic. He says, thanks very much. So the guy goes back to his mate and he says, that's him right enough. He says, I'll need to shake that man's hand. So he goes out of the bar and he says, excuse me, are you Red Adair right enough? He says, yeah, sure I am, Jock. He says, you still dance with Ginger Rogers? Oh, take me drunk, I'm home. He's our glass of that wine, by the way.
Yes, he's a man that wrote the books. Yes, Take Me Drunk, I'm Home, Mr. Tam Craven.
Aye, oh, heat wave. Heat wave.
Take me drunk, I'm home.
Oh, but it is really nice. Did you see the seagulls a wee while ago there? There were 2 up on that roof, that restaurant, the bikini zone. So I wrote them this poem, I sent it in, they absolutely loved it. And it's called The Leak, right? My old friend Bill, he gave me a leak, and I made a pot of soup that would normally last a week. When the soup was ready, there was a knock on my door. It was Bill with all his wains, and there was more than 3 or 4. They all got stuck into the lovely minestrone. I wanted to take some for Amora. Knew there wasn't going to be ony. Not a slice of bread was left in my house. No even a few crumbs that would feed a wee moose. But good old Scottish hospitality is unbroken and renowned. It's all over this world, more solid than a pound. My old friend Bill, he gave me another leak and says, your soup is magic, Tam. Same time next week. Right, this one's called the jacket. I bought this jacket off a friend of mine, James Curtis, and it didn't fit me because my belly wouldn't allow it, Right, here it goes, the jacket. Trying to lose weight isn't easy. In fact, sometimes it would make you cry. But everything fell into place one day when a certain jacket I did buy. I tried it on and tried to zip it up, but my belly would not allow. So I decided right there and then, it's high time I made a wee vow. So out to Kirky Baths I did go with determination on my mind. The beer belly would have to go and the excess pounds left behind. Up and down the lanes I swam, showing off to all the folk. I was determined to be skinny, but trying to lose weight was no joke. No more chocolate or fatty foods, no more ice cream or beer. And then I began to wonder, just why the hell are we here? Temptation was something I could never resist as I struggled to lose weight. Then I remembered moderation, and that jacket would have to wait. Ah, take your time, Tam, I kept saying to myself. Don't give up the things you love, for peace of mind can keep you well. We are all a wee bit self-conscious about ourselves on the outside and how we should appear, but we really should be looking inwards. For that's why God put us all here. And so I've came to the conclusion that there'll be no more weight loss cries. And I've given the jacket back to James Curtis and tell him to get me a bigger size.
Guess who fell off it? Me.
I says to him, but you think Robbie Burns will be drinking the Angel share now? I mean, after 250 years.
This is this lassie I used to know. She used to be. She loved to be posh, you know. It's going, let's be pretentious together. Take your horn off there, big man. You know I'm sensitive to your touch. Loch Lomond, Jemima, my darling. You know I love you so very much. Won't me worry your problems, big man, and I'll consider your randiness. You know I love the way you talk. You've got an awful lot of finesse. And pour me another glass of champagne, just make me feel awful good. And give me some more of these fish's eggs. I know you're worth a right few quid. So let's be pretentious together, big man, and we'll leave the world far behind. And don't think my heat is buttoned up the bag, for I know exactly what's on your mind. See, I've been about, I couldn't work, so I've been about for 4 or 5 years in Egypt. I'm still doing that right enough, you know. My mother kept telling me, she says, you've got a brain, you can use it. One day I just, this was way of giving me that story, I just started. You see that there? That's my 15th book.
Very good.
Honest.
What was your first one?
Like Campsie characters.
There a few of them.
Oh, what? They're all way, but you know.
Aye.
Aye, look, well, the books and all that, I mean.
This one's called A Room and Kitchen Up in Heaven. I've put my name down for a room and kitchen up in heaven. I've got a pretty good chance of getting it as soon as I stop living. There's too much overcrowding here with bumper-to-bumper motor cars, and all the flooding that's going to come, soon man will have to fly to the stars. He's polluted this lovely planet with all his laziness and greed, and now there's no turning back, for the glaciers are melting at speed. And if there is another planet out there that human beings can get to, you can bet your bottom dollar he will destroy that one too. So get your name down right away for a room and kitchen in Never Never Land, and let me know when you're flitting, and I'll come and give you a hand.
Coffee helps too. What do you do this is a wee gift for you?
Is this your latest one?
It's a new one. See this? See my mother? My mother's 83. She stays empty. It's a shelf accommodation. And every time you looks here, you open the door, there's a mother in the living room. Reflects that she's in the scullery there. I see her, you know. One day I was doing it. These days, you see her. gave me the inspiration. She's running by it, don't need you.
I've got something to do.
That's great, thanks a lot. Okay.
This is a guy called who steals the sausages, right, at the butcher's. And it's called the Starving Sergeant. All the gossip mongers were blustering as the rumours spread all over the town. It seems that young Tammy Troot has fled old Campsie town. 4 dozen square sausages went missing from McDonald's butchers up the street, and now the local Keystone cops were starting to flex their feet. "We will track this sausage thief down," said Sergeant Rosebud with a hungry grin. "I've been deprived of my supper. That Tammy Troot has committed a terrible sin. We will search every nook and cranny and smoke this Tammy Troot out. You can rely on the local police, for we know all the dodgers inside out." The police surrounded the Burns Tavern, where the infamous Darragh gang hung out. "OK, Darragh," said Sergeant Rosebud. "You know what this is all about." "I don't know what you're on about, sir," said Angus Darragh with a sausage smile. "Young Tammy Troot is innocent, for to steal is just no the boy's style." A smell of sausage and onions was wafting through the pub, and Sergeant Rosebud's taste buds were bouncing. He just had to have some grub. Suddenly 2 rolls and sausage appeared, and Sergeant Rosebud could no longer wait. "God bless Tammy Troot," he shouted, as he devoured the rolls in a paper plate.
Is this you that writes this, is it?
Aye, these are all my books here.
All right.
Alexander, take me off and out and eat this.
You're lovely.
You're lovely.
Lang me, you're lovely.
Why's that?
Constant knowing.
Alright, what stage is that?
I'm doing translations for my daughter here.
Well, that woman there, I mean, she lifted that book the way and she just started greeting. She was reading a poem. And she was very, very embarrassed about it. I mean, it is a very emotional poem. And I can't write funny ones all the time. I just write whatever comes to me. She just buried her mother 6 months ago, you know. Basically, that's what the poem's about. That's life, innit?
Hi, Thomas.
Right, Leslie, how you doing? All right, see you later. You away? Cheers.
This is us on the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. And this is a poem I wrote for the memory of Robert Burns. I just finished reading a book called The Wind That Blows the Barley by James Bark. It was about the life and times of Robert Burns. And it's one of the loveliest books I ever read. And this is a poem called Run, Lewis, Run. And Lewis was the name of Robert Burns' dog. Run, Lewis, run, boy, through your bonny hills and glen. Run while you're young, boy, the chance won't come again. Run, my swift wee collie, through the fields and o'er the braes. Enjoy your swift times, boy, for young life never stays. Run with your 6 senses, and to your final hill. This life I cannae make sense of it, and man, probably, I never will. Run, Lewis, run, boy, through the seas of life's corn. You don't hae money cares, boy, maybe that's why man was born. Run, Lewis, run, boy, be as swift as you can be, and leave us mortal humans waiting on liberty.
Faroe Islands. I mean, nobody knows what the Faroe Islands are, you know.
Tenants door
And,
about 10 o'clock.
Jimmy says it's a bloody sin for the people for the Faroe football team.
10 o'clock in Monday, alright?
He says how? He says there are only 6 of them with football boots.
I hope you get your things sorted. You're young
Talking
enough to
about
be able
the-
to do that, no bother.
Every year in the Faroe Islands,
You're better to do it when
they
you're
go
young.
out and call the whales. The boats out and they force a couple of whales in.
Bye.
Staple diet for right through the winter. So I'm sitting with me Angie, we're having a wee baby and that, you know. And he goes like that, he says, is that right? I says, I saw the 8 million black whale meat, they have that right through the winter. And I says, you know what the Faroe Islands national anthem's called? Angie says, no, I've never heard it before. I says, I'll sing it for you. So a Stu Doctor goes like that, says, we'll meet again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will short to be arriving at Tullamore. For today's
Welcome aboard the Skylab.
which will follow Sydney and Amsterdam, where you see the lighthouse and the routes of call and the islands of call down to you.
It's called the Man in the Moon. It's got an old friend of mine, Mary Goldrick, used to be a bus conductor at Hutby, you know. And what a woman she was. You always go to one way, laughing at me, Dad. God bless you, Mary. She told me this story herself. It's called The Man in the Moon. I met an old friend of mine, Mary Goldrick, at the bus stop the other day. Mary used to work the buses as a conductress for many years. Every time you meet Mary, she's always laughing and joking. It's a real tonic to the human race. If laughter keeps you young, Mary will live forever, God bless her, but she didn't. It was a Saturday night and most of her passengers were filling with drink. Mary was going up the stairs to take the fares, and as she climbed the stairs, an intoxicated passenger downstairs looked up and said, "Hey Mary, I can see the moon." Little did he know who he was talking to. Mary turned round and answered instantly. You should have seen it last night. Well, there was a man in it. What a woman that was. This is a poem called "The Pen is Mightier." She was spread-eagled on the bed, awaiting the arrival of her bonny prince. He was in the boozer, drinking beer and eating totties and mince. He finally made it home to his princess's boudoir, and she shouted through the door, "Go to hell, where have you been? Who do you think you are? My lovely princess, with love poems I have come at last, through winter storms with 2 fish suppers and a bottle of Buckfast." The lovely lady did succumb as he untied the cord, and it seems as though the penis is mightier than the sword.
You'll see a couple of small craft there in the port side, ladies and gentlemen. Beyond them lies the start of the Slate Peninsula, part of Skye that runs right up past Kyle Ray and up towards Kyle Mochalish and Kylacken.
This is called the Old Chestnut Tree. Fallen leaves fly with fading memories, and the years slip by in our lee as we stare out the bay window at our old chestnut tree. Carved loved hearts and initials fall over lovers to see. We knew we were made for each other as we climbed our old chestnut tree.
Of garden parties and shaded dreams we planned our blameless destiny, but wars, poverty and starvation could never hurt our old chestnut tree. Then along came the young ones, sisters and brothers, 1, 2 and 3, and soon they all would learn to climb our old chestnut tree. And with children come children, and youth and old age and reverie. Let's hope that all God's children keep climbing the old chestnut tree. This is my cell phone, as they say in America. It's a mobile phone in Scotland. And this poem is about a young boy who meets a lassie at the dancing. And she gives him her phone number. And she wakes up in the morning and thinks, oh my God, what have I done? I'm not answering that phone, you know. And he wakes up and he says, oh, I'm going to phone her right away, but she's no answering. And this is called kidding my cell phone, as they say in the States. I phoned her in the morning, then I phoned her up at night. I can't seem to be doing any bloody thing right. I phoned her for the bus stop, then I phoned her for the train. What the hell is she playing at? She's driving me insane. Then I phoned her for the boozer, then I phoned her for the loo. Then I phoned her for the Black Mariah. What else was that to do? Then I phoned my brother for bail money. It would be a short-term loan. Then I threw myself in the Clyde. I was kidding my cell phone. This is a poem called Barney Cool. It was about my pal John Young's dog. His name was Barney. I knew him for 13 years and I never heard him barking once. I was standing waiting in the queue outside Heaven's lovely gate, next to a wee Jack Russell named Shug, who was in an awfully dishevelled state. What's the matter with you, wee man? I whispered in his lug. I'm wee Shug for the suicide, big man. They'll no take me for a mug. He blethered on about his life and all his troubles and woes, and says he'd bitten 10 postmen and a policeman on the nose. Then the angels came to get the wee man, for there was no place to hide. Take your hands off me, he shouted. I'm wee Shug for the suicide. There was an awful shouting and a howling as Barney listened to wee Shug's yell. Then he heard the big door bang as they took him down to hell. I couldn't understand why he was so angry, for I'd had a good life with a lovely family. I'd go for great walks with my master and Big Tam for Campsie and listen to their daft patter sitting at the 17th tee. A dog's life is a swift one, 7 times quicker than his master. But some dogs are like humans. They want everything done faster. Aye, this is Loch Nevis and we're just turning to get back down to Tobermory, innit? And then down to back to Lomond. We'll be back in about 9:30. The fish and chips. Down the one later, aye. I don't drink much now anyway, a skull base there. Aye. Is there no
a song about that. October Morning Day. That's why you want there with the back there. To the back, you said to the right. New mastic one. It's only 400,000. Yeah, big white house there. I won the lottery last week and I bought that for 2 million. Listen to that.
Hey, listen.
Is that a whale fart?
I think.
Nice. Lovely night, isn't it? To open. Well, here we are at Dumbarton Castle, which is the ancient capital of Strathclyde. This poem's called Come Back Mary McGregor. It was a lassie I knew many, many years ago. The goldfinches were dancing through the air as I strolled along the Blaine Valley without a care. The crystal streams flowed gently by as I remembered your eyes when you said goodbye. Along the lovely valley I remember all the faces, whilst jets fly up above, going to exotic places. Oh, bonny Scotland, why did she leave our shores? We should have walked through so many different doors. Deep in my heart's fire stir the pipes and the tunes, for the memory of my Mary, while a new Scotland blooms. Come back, Mary McGregor, to old Scotia's love. Come down from the sky and the heavens above. Big Ann went into the van, looking for the wee man. The wee man was down in the pub, drinking a black and tan. What's his game, thought Big Ann, as she lay on the big black divan. I'll sort him out, that dastardly wee man. The wee man finished his 10th black and tan and said, Cheerio, boys, I'm off to see Big Ann up in the big black divan in the van. As the wee man sneaked into the van, he got walloped on the head with a can, and that was the end of the wee man and Big Ann. This is a poem called Lottery Dreaming. Well, I'm cruising, I'm constantly cruising, going round the world, man, it's so amusing. Well, I'm cruising, I'm constantly cruising, picking up the chips and never ever losing. Well, I'm cruising, just constantly cruising, with my brother Dom and the lovely Susan. Well, I'm cruising, I'm constantly cruising, I don't want to wake up, just keep on snoozing. That's Wallace Monument. They should have built it down at the bottom of the hill instead of up the hill. And they saved us walking up. And we start off with freedom and whisky, gang together, as Mr. Burns says. And the poem I wrote about the Japanese whisky, I'm looking forward to reading that out in the Air Town Hall Saturday. I'm going to be signing my new book, The Way. Aye, it's Robbie's Drams. It's a whisky exhibition with all the big distilleries up. Every distillery in Scotland's going to be at it. I could actually run it. I could run it in seconds, but I hate showing off. Throw money. How long he's over for?
3 weeks.
Yeah.
1 more week to go. He's out.
Aye, he's away down to the boozer down in Stirling.
Here we are at Abbey Craig at the William Wallace Monument in Stirling. It's a lovely day, a bit overcast, but it's really nice. This poem is called The Dagger Under the Tongue, and it's about, you know, how you're talking to somebody and you know they don't like you, and you're forced to talk to them. And it's about racism and all. It's called The Dagger Under the Tongue. True poets cannot be racist, and vile racists don't merit a line. So release the dagger under the tongue, and don't drink hate's poison wine. A white man can't be a black man, and a black man can't be white, but they can embrace each other's humanity and make their children's hopes bright. A yellow man saves a red man's life, and a Muslim saves a Jew's. What right have we to hate anyone? Racism will only make us lose. A Canadian cannot be an American, and an Englishman cannot be a Scot, but we can share a common dignity by loving each other a lot. So let's look to a better future, and a love song still to be sung, and leave racism and bigotry far behind, and release the dagger under the tongue. And this is called a bluebell wood. From the breath of all flowers I draw strength each day, and the constant knowing that they live forever and a day. The gorgeous roses and daffodils, wild garlic, musk and violets will come back every year, and the devil ain't taking any bets. We humans seem to seek all that is wrong. If you knew the peace of flowers, we would sing a different song. There's a marvellous serenity walking through a bluebell wood, and if mankind could sell that, I'm damn sure that he would. This is a poem for my father, George. God love him. I really miss him. And then the heartache, it came back to haunt me once again. All the memories and the thoughts of Geordie, my long-lost friend. We worked together in the fields, brought in the hay, the corn and the wheat. That's where he taught me to respect every being that I would meet. As we brought in the tatties and the turnips and the cabbages galore, he would sing the old Irish songs of the folks in Ballymore. And when the work was done and the men would have the crack in the beer, and remember days gone by, and of the folks who were not here. And as the sun went down, he would put me gently to bed, and whisper in my ears of the good days that lay ahead. This life is a weary travel, He would remind me every day, and on we must struggle to search for a better way. No, I remember Picasso in the Maryland, up Socky Hall Street, in the Majestic. We used to call it the Magic Stick. I mind one night we get chased. It was one night. I'm sure it was called a clan ball. There's a clan ball in the Majestic, and I'm sure it was a Wednesday night. Maybe somebody will write and tell me. And it was all Scottish groups, that's how they called it, a clan ball. And I used to run about with this guy called Paddy Gillen. And he had a nickname. His nickname was Coatsy, because we used to wear the long coats. I had a green Harris tweed long coat. It was a cracker. And we were all smart, really smart in the days, you know, the suits on. And we get into we're standing at the back in the it was a Locarno, wasn't it? Locarno it was. And me and Paddy stood in, and he came from Bishop Briggs, I think. And he ran about with a gang, the Glasgow Tongs. And I used to see him, meet him up a couple of times a week. And there were a gang from Maryhill called the Fleet. So me and Paddy's up Locarno, we're standing, all brammed up, you know. The next thing there were about 15 guys round us, and they didn't like Paddy. They must have involved. I mean, I didn't know the guys. I'm just a pure wee guy from Campsie, you know. And they're saying to Paddy, "You're getting it. You get outside." So we dived down the stair and got our coats, and we just made it out, and they all come out and chased us right down Socky Hall Street, just to escape the skin of our teeth. This is a poem called Memories. And I've written a few poems on this subject. I can't help it. I suppose it's good to look back at youth and recall all the good times. And when I close my eyes, I can look back and see my father, George, throwing the big lumps of coal for the train down at the Torrow of Roundtree Falls in Lennoxtown, where I was born. It's a lovely memory, and this is called Memories. I remember the honest poverty and the plates of totties and mince. It's been over half a century. Where have we all been since? I remember the Red Indian outfit brought back from Canada, and the red sky at night and dancing with my ma. I remember the beautiful potatoes that my father used to grow. I remember his shining eyes and my mother's face aglow. I remember the big lumps of coal he used to throw from the train. Oh, what I would give just to go back there once again. But the sands of time run quick for every being that God has made, and there is no going back for no one, and of death we should not be afraid. But this is a wee joke about this English guy. He was a yuppie, away back in the Thatcher days, and he'd made an absolute fortune. So every day at lunchtime, champagne parties, night time, and it was starting to get to him. After about a year, he says, "I can't take any more of this." He went to see his doctor, and his doctor says, "Get out, you've made your money." So he decides to go on a 6-month sabbatical up to the Highlands, away up Sutherland, and he rents this wee cottage out in the middle of nowhere for 6 months. And there's no telly, no phone, all he had's a radio. And he went fishing, walks all over the countryside, and he loved it. And after about 3 months, he was starting to feel great, but he was thinking about London again. He was missing it, you know. And he heard a bang at the door. And he opens the door, and there's a big Highlander standing, big Angus Mackenzie. with a big beard and the long hair. And he says, hello, he says, my name's Angus Mackenzie. I stay over the other side of the mountain. I heard you were renting a cottage out. He says, I'm having a wee party tomorrow night and I'd like to invite you over. So the English guy says, oh, aye, certainly, I'll come over. And he says, by the way, he says, there's going to be a good bit of drink at the party. He says, oh, the English guy says, oh, I love the Scotch malt whisky. Oh, I really love it. He says, right, okay, tomorrow night, 6:30. He says, and by the way, he says, there might be a wee bit of boxing. And he says, oh, Queensberry rules, I'm into that, you know. He says, right, tomorrow night, he says, by the way, he says, there might be a wee bit of sex at the party, you know. Oh, he says, I like the woman. So Angus is walking away and the English guy shouts, hey Angus, what is the dress? Is it formal or informal? And Angus says, don't worry about that, my friend. He says, it's only you and me, it's gone.
He's stealing my money.
Hey, here you are at St Andrew's Market in Glasgow, just up for the Barras. And this poem is for all Scots. It's called The Black Daffodil. I am not part of your universe, I am the Black Daffodil. You'll no find me on your window sill. Not one of your 92 elements, I am wild and free, from a bonny place where we have liberty. I've travelled through space since 1707 to show you true Scots the road to heaven. You must make a clearance for the whole human race and give bigotry and hatred a slap in the face. Forget all about the green and blue haze and teach your children that all colours amaze. Throw the ersatz sheep into the past mire and clean up the air for the new saltire. Scotland, Scotland, stand up with pride. You've never ran away, there is nothing to hide. Scotland, Scotland, stand up and be seen to be even better than you've ever been. Scotland, Scotland, you have the guile and the brains to instil a new hope for all the world and its wains. Thank you. Oh, my favourite. Oh, don't get knocked in the moon, I'm in with a strawberry tart. Oh, you bandit. Oh, no. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have eaten that strawberry tart. I wish I could get back to the start.
And can we all give a hearty welcome to Mr. Robbie Burns himself. It gives me great pleasure to welcome on stage another poem this afternoon, Mr. Tam Craven. Please put your hands together, please.
I'd like to thank Robbie Russell for inviting me here today. And I was fascinated, and I read about this guy called Masataka Taketsuru, who came to Scotland to learn how to make whisky. And he fell in love with a lady called Rita Cowan from Kirkintilloch. And her parents didn't like the mix, so they eloped. They ran away into Glasgow and get married, and then they sailed to Japan to make the whisky. And I called this poem Hokkaido, or Hokkaido. He whisked his bride away to the land of the rising sun. He had found true love at last. He knew she was the one. Their marriage wasn't blissed with certain people they knew, but they knew in their hearts it was the right thing to do. Across the oceans they travelled, the new whisky to distill, and in a few years they would be drinking the new Sino-Scottish Jill. And every night he would ask her, after a wee drammy or two, do you still love me, my Rita? Hokkaido, Hokkaido, Hokkaido. So here's to Masataka and Rita. May their precious love never end. A mixture of all different cultures is surely a noble blend. Thank you. This last poem is it's about Scottish Asians. I was looking into the future and imagining all the Scottish players were all Asians. And it's called the Tartan a Man's. A woman called a man, married a man called a man. And they had a wee boy, and they called him Big Stan. Then along came a sister, who they called Jean a man, and another 10 brothers. But that wasn't really the plan. Well, they all took to Fitba, and what a rare sight to see. 11 Scottish Asians playing for their country. And to the World Cup final, the Scottish Asians did reach, and they trounced the Brazilians, who had learned Fitba on the beach. Then all the Amans drank from the World Cup, true Scotsmen in every way. A man's a man for all that. Is there any more to say? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Tam Craven.